Qualifying for more than you can live on is not an achievement. It is a warning. Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. You eat, but never have enough. You drink, but never have your fill. You earn wages only to put them in a purse with holes in it. Andre cried in the car after they got the keys. Not loud, dramatic crying. The quiet kind. The kind where you grip the steering wheel and stare at the dashboard because your whole life suddenly feels like proof that you made it. Melissa was already inside the house with the kids, running from room to room yelling, "This one is mine! No, this is mine! Mom, look at the bathroom!" The house smelled like fresh paint and expensive decisions. 4 bedrooms, 2 floors, a kitchen island Melissa had prayed for since she was 26 and watching home makeover videos on her phone while eating noodles in a tiny apartment with stained ceilings. Andre stood there looking at his family through the front window and thought, this is it. This is the life I promised them. And in a way, it was. What nobody tells you is that some dreams arrive wearing sharp teeth. Because 18 months later, they had a nickname for the house, the Beast. Not jokingly either. The kind of nickname people create after something has quietly started swallowing them alive. See, on paper, Andre and Melissa looked successful. Combined income after taxes, $6,000 a month, good credit scores, stable jobs, a 20% down payment, 2 children in private school because they wanted better opportunities, 2 financed cars because the old ones kept breaking down, outstanding student loans, credit card balances they kept meaning to pay off once things settled down, and the lender approved them for $450,000. So they bought a house for $430,000 because it felt responsible. That is the dangerous thing about numbers. A number can technically work while your actual life quietly falls apart around it. Their mortgage payment was $2,300 every month, then property taxes, then insurance, then electricity for a house twice the size of their old apartment, then maintenance. Because houses do not just sit there looking pretty like they do in real estate photos. Houses eat. The water heater broke first, $900. Then the fence started leaning after a storm, $3,000. Then their son needed braces. Then Melissa's car needed new tires. Then the school sent an email about updated tuition adjustments. That phrase alone can make a parent sweat through their shirt. And suddenly, every paycheck already had somewhere to go before it even arrived. That is when the fighting started. Not explosive fighting at first. The small, tired kind. The kind where somebody asks, "Did you really need to order food tonight?" And the other person hears, "You are the reason we are drowning." Melissa stopped buying clothes. Andre stopped going out with friends. They had not taken a vacation in 2 years. Not because they were irresponsible, because every extra dollar disappeared into the mouth of the house. And the crazy part, from the outside, people envied them. That is the terrifying thing about modern financial pressure. Sometimes the people you envy are one emergency away from panic attacks. You know what made it worse? The house looked beautiful online. Melissa would post family pictures during Christmas and people would comment, "Goes. God, when? You guys are living the dream." Meanwhile, Andre was sitting at the dining table at midnight calculating whether they could survive another tuition increase without touching the credit card again. That is the part nobody posts. Nobody posts the spreadsheet open at 1 o'clock in the morning. Nobody posts the panic behind the smiling family portrait. Nobody posts the argument in the kitchen about whether their daughter really needed ballet classes this semester. People post the house, not the cost of worshiping it. Haggai chapter 1 verse 6 says, "You earn wages only to put them in a purse with holes in it." That verse feels ancient until you watch your salary disappear 48 hours after payday and still cannot explain where it went. The prophet Haggai was speaking to people who had built beautiful lives while neglecting the deeper structure underneath them. And honestly, that still happens every day. People build lives they cannot emotionally, spiritually, or financially carry. Not because they are foolish, because the world trains us to confuse approval with wisdom. The bank approved them, so they assumed it must be safe. But lenders are not measuring peace, they are measuring risk. That is a completely different thing. A bank only asks, can they probably make the payment? It does not ask, will this payment slowly destroy their marriage? It does not ask, will they still have margin left to breathe? It does not ask, will their children grow up in a beautiful house filled with stressed out parents? That part is your responsibility. And this is where people get uncomfortable, because nobody likes hearing this. Sometimes what you can technically afford is still too expensive for your actual life. There is a difference between surviving a payment and sustaining a life. Massive difference. A lot of people are surviving payments right now. Very few are enjoying their lives. And listen carefully, because this matters. There is nothing wrong with wanting nice things. Nothing. God is not glorified by unnecessary struggle. But there is a difference between stewardship and image management. Some people are not buying houses. They are buying proof. Proof that they succeeded. Proof they escaped poverty. Proof they are doing better than the people who doubted them. And proof is expensive, especially when you finance it. Andre finally admitted something one night after the kids went to sleep. He said, "I think I bought this house because I was tired of feeling behind." That sentence changed everything, because now they were finally talking about the real issue, not square footage, identity. A lot of spending is emotional before it is financial. People buy things trying to medicate invisible wounds. The luxury car becomes therapy. The designer bag becomes validation. The oversized house becomes evidence that your suffering meant something. But unresolved insecurity has an appetite. It keeps eating. You know what is wild? Research consistently shows that after basic comfort and stability are met, bigger homes do not significantly increase happiness levels long term, but they absolutely increase stress if the payments stretch the household too thin. And that makes sense when you think about it, because peace is not created by square footage. Peace is created by margin. Margin to rest, margin to save, margin to say yes when your child needs something, margin to breathe when life punches the schedule in the throat. Without margin, even blessings start feeling heavy. There is another detail people ignore. Children can feel financial stress even when you never explain it. They hear the tension in conversations. They notice the silence after bills arrive. They see parents becoming irritable and exhausted. The house was beautiful. The atmosphere inside it was slowly becoming brittle. One night, Melissa sat on the laundry room floor and cried because the washing machine stopped working. Not because of the machine, because she was tired. Tired of every month feeling like a survival challenge. Tired of pretending she loved the life that constantly scared her. Tired of owning things that secretly owned them back. And this is where the conversation usually changes. Because somebody listening right now is thinking, so what are you saying? Never dream big? No, dream big. Just do not confuse big with healthy. The bigger life is not always the bigger house. Sometimes the bigger life is the smaller house with laughter inside it. The smaller mortgage with family vacations. The older car with zero panic attacks. The modest kitchen where nobody is secretly calculating overdraft fees while making dinner. That is wealth too. Actually, that might be the richer version. Jesus talks a lot about stewardship because stewardship reveals what controls you. Luke chapter 14 verse 28 says, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it?" Notice that Jesus did not say, estimate whether you qualify. He said, estimate the cost. Different question. Qualification is external. Capacity is personal. And if we are being truthful, social media has completely distorted people's sense of financial normalcy. Everybody looks rich online. Everybody. Meanwhile, a shocking percentage of people are carrying credit card debt, financing lifestyles they cannot sustain, and praying no emergency happens before next payday. A lot of flexing is financed. Andre and Melissa eventually made a hard decision, one that bruised their pride a little. They moved. Smaller house, smaller payment, public school district with good ratings, one car sold, aggressive debt payoff plan. At first, it felt humiliating. Melissa said packing the old house felt like admitting failure. But 3 months into the new place, something strange happened. They laughed more. Andre started sleeping properly again. The arguments slowed down. They started building savings for the first time since buying the first house. Their daughter said something during dinner one night that almost made Melissa cry. She said, "I like this house better." Melissa asked why, and her daughter shrugged and said, "Everybody seems happier here." Children notice atmosphere before aesthetics, every time. And maybe that is the whole lesson. The goal is not to build a life that impresses people for 30 seconds online. The goal is to build a life you can actually live inside without slowly collapsing under its weight. Haggai chapter 1 verse 6 talks about putting wages into a bag with holes. That image is painfully modern because holes are not always obvious sins. Sometimes the holes are overspending, comparison, ego, fear, status pressure, emotional spending, or confusing luxury with peace. And here is the dangerous part. More income does not automatically fix any of those things. It usually magnifies them. If somebody cannot manage 5,000 wisely, 10,000 often just creates more expensive chaos. That is why structure matters more than image, always. If you are preparing to buy a home someday, please hear this clearly. Do not shop based on what impresses people. Shop based on what protects your peace. Leave margin. Leave room for life to happen without destroying you, because life will happen. The roof will leak. The car will break down. Your child job will suddenly need something expensive right after you paid another expensive thing. That is adulthood. And adulthood feels very different when your finances have breathing room. The bigger house is not automatically the bigger blessing. Sometimes the blessing is the house that does not eat you alive. Sometimes wisdom sounds less impressive at first, but it sleeps better at night. And trust me on this, sleep is underrated until stress starts stealing it from you. If this message hit different, if something in your spirit just shifted, don't let it stop there. Hit like, not for the numbers, but because there's a steward somewhere still scrolling who needs to find this. Share it with the one who's been praying for breakthrough, but hasn't had the word broken down with receipts yet. And subscribe to Bible Rebooted. We're not here to make you feel good. We're here to hand you the truth and show you what to do with it. Manage it like it was never yours. It's your boy Dave Solara signing out. Like, subscribe, and stream music.